We're talking about outhouses, and we're talking about hot grease. Let's roll, America. Hey, everybody. Glad you're all tuning in here. We're coming to you live from our own little lovely bars here.
I'm coming from beautiful, gorgeous, sunny Philadelphia, where it is always sunny, or at least they tell us.
Hell yeah, brother. That's what I'm talking about. We
like to jam-pack entertainment and good times. That's our motto. We're going to have a different motto every week, but this week it's entertainment and good times.
Yeah, so we were just like listening to some music here and stuff like that before we were getting online here. And, it's the weather's starting to break here. It's starting to get sunny and warm. Thank God. Thank goodness. Yeah, and then you know what that means? It means concerts, live music. Joe, do you have any live music this summer for the audience?
Oh, absolutely. I got tickets for one outdoor concert already this summer, and I can't wait. That is going to be, can you guess it, Mike? Can you guess who I'm going to go see live this summer?
I would need a list, man. I don't even know who's coming to Philly. And then knowing you, like, I know you, I don't know, Cher.
It is not Cher. I'm not sure if she's still touring or not. I'd probably see Cher.
I would too, man.
I'm going to... Yeah, in July at the Mann Center, I'm going to go see Third Eye Blind, and I cannot wait.
Nice.
Stoked for Third Eye. This will be like my third or fourth time seeing them. I saw them last year, and I don't remember much of the concert. Went with one of my good buddies, and we pre-gamed a little too hard, and but it was still a great show. What I remember of it. Planning on trying to remember all of this show, but yeah. Third Eye Blind. That's like perfect summer music. You know what I mean? Just
yeah.
Stephen
Jenkins.
It's also
a throwback from you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, they're classic though. They never go out of style. You know. You know who's coming that I probably will see. I haven't bought tickets for yet, but is Alanis Morissette. You an Alanis Morissette fan?
That's a hard no.
I love Alanis Morissette.
She
is fantastic.
Yeah, no offense to Alanis Morissette. I just don't dig the music. But she's a very talented artist. I do say she's a talented artist.
Yeah, if it's not your bag, it's not your bag. You know, she was married to Ryan Reynolds back in like the early 2000s.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that wild? They're both Canadian.
That is wild. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know he was Canadian.
Oh, yeah. He's a Canuck.
Go Canuck.
All these Canadians stealing our American jobs away from us, you know, becoming the biggest heartthrob in Hollywood. Yeah, that's all they want. Yeah, they were married for a bit. They were married for a bit, and then he left her for Scarlett Johansson. And you're like, man, you really upgraded there. I think Alanis Morissette's gorgeous. You know, she's a very beautiful woman. But when Scarlett Johansson's calling your name, like, what are you going to do? You know? If you're Ryan Reynolds, I guess bounce.
As you can tell, Joe.
Ryan Reynolds is a dog. Let's just put it right there. Ryan Reynolds is a dog.
I don't have any comment on that. I mean, I like the dude. He has a very good personality, and he can be overboard, but he's very off the cuff and he's very quick. And I'm jealous of that. That's like that very off the cuff and very quick response that he gives, and that it's funny. But he does get overboard. But he is a very good actor, and I love him in Deadpool. He does get a little bit overboard in Deadpool, where it's just like, all right. But yeah, I do like it. As you could tell,
Ryan Reynolds is a dog. He's a jerk.
Joe has 110% more.
Sure, of the paparazzi. Yeah, and me and Ryan Reynolds have big beef, and now he knows, and. You know,
me on her head, yeah.
Make it clear.
So,
that's great. What about you?
I think
any concerts this summer.
Hey, if Motley Crue's playing, man, I'll be there. I think they are playing. there is a long distance rock concert, but I think it's a little bit out of my range. There is Motley Crue and a bunch of other bands. It's like a 3-day rock fest. It sounds pretty cool. I don't know if I have the energy at 40 years old to do that or to deal with all that, because I did do Crew Fest when they first came back on tour. When they first came back after taking a hiatus of 5, I forget how many years, but yeah, when they started coming back in 2005 or 6, I think it was 2006. Me and my boys went, and man, that was a great time. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, I've been to Chesney concerts. That I kind of outgrew that. I'm kind of like, hey man, like I like going to Nashville. If I'm gonna spend that much money and like, getting a hotel, I'd like to just go to Nashville, where I can go to every bar and any floor 24/7, 7 days a week, and I can listen to any type of live bands. I can hear like rock bands, I can hear country bands, I can hear female artists and singers, and it's Nashville's a good time. And everybody just gives Nashville like this bachelorette retreat. It's not just for girls, it's for guys too. It's just girls like going down there because they like country music, or it's just, that's why they like going there. I like going there because, well, I'm single for one, and I know it's true, dude. It's a good time. I remember I went there.
Let me ask you something, Mike, since we're talking about Nashville. And you're a country music fan, is that right? Are you aware of a young man named Morgan Wallen? Are you familiar with him?
I am.
Okay. So Morgan Wallen has a song with a rapper named Little Durk. Have you heard of Little Durk? Are you familiar with him?
I have not.
Okay. So I'm a big hip hop guy, right? And I grew up with the old school hip hop, the Beastie Boys, the Run DMCs, the NWAs, the Wu-Tang Clan. So I see this Lil Durk, who's not a great rapper. I'm not a big fan of him, but I see he's got a song with Morgan Wallen, and I turn it on the YouTube and watch this music video. It's called Broadway Girls, and it's about Nashville, and it's this country guy and this rapper, and the song, Mike, is absolutely atrocious. It is terrible. It's absolutely awful. And I'm thinking to myself, man, rap music like sucks now. Like, it's so bad. We're past the prime of rap music, right? We're done with the Jay-Z's and the Beastie Boys and all these guys. Is that a similar feeling that country music fans get when they see Morgan Wallen doing a song with Lil Durk?
Well, no, because like with all due respect to Morgan Wallen, I mean, I only like a couple of his songs. I know him because of those couple of the songs, but I feel like the market is getting flooded. Everybody thinks they can sing country music. Everybody thinks they can sing rock. Everybody thinks they can rap. And it's just getting saturated. And everybody's giving them a deal because they're just trying to find that next Garth Brooks. They're trying to find that next. My mind's flooding with rock because I am a rock fan. We'll just say. I'm not going to say AC/DC because they are legendary, but maybe somebody like the next Metallica. You know what I mean? Like, there's you're not going to find you're not going to, like, that's why the market is getting that. Plus, that's why we're on here, because everybody can do a podcast now, where it's just about how you can reach out to the audience. It's about how you can reach out to your fans, and that's why like they're trying to reach out to the fans. And you know what I mean? Like how we're trying to do. And it's just about your natural talent and how it's going to carry you, and just reach out and attach yourself to the listener. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a podcast or if it's music or if it's movies. You're trying to get your audience and grab the attention of the audience. And I think that's what they're trying to, they're going a little bit too far. And it's not just them, it's the movie industry as well. So, but, hey, just let it.
Well, hopefully Morgan Wallen gets better. Hopefully, Lil Durk gets better. Hopefully, rap music gets better.
Yeah, well, I mean, if
Mike's
you're
all
going to
about.
compare it to like, if you're going to, well, no, I like
No.
Warren
I was gonna
G. I
say.
like,
I was gonna say you're all about peace, love, and positivity, and I'm over here to start some beef with Little Dirk, with Morgan Wallen, and with Ryan Reynolds. I'm gonna tear them apart. If I think I have an issue with you, I'm gonna. Doesn't matter how famous you are. Now, hey, you mentioned Garth Brooks earlier. Garth Brooks, you're cool in my book. You're awesome, right? Beaches of Cheyenne, that rodeo, yeah, can't go wrong. I listen to Garth Brooks all day long.
yeah. I will not pay. Like, it's like Garth Brooks going on concert and AC/DC going on concert. Their tickets are just absolutely, they're insane. I'm not going to pay to go to a concert
very
that in a
expensive.
stadium that's like, yeah, that's like run between.
Well, I mean that's a lot of money. You can get Garth Brooks tickets for under $500 for sure. That's where the party is, Mike. So I went. I might have told you this story, but I don't think I've told.
Beer.
Yeah, I went to Garth Brooks's show in Philly when he came back after being gone for so long. Right? Remember he took probably a decade or so off, and then did. 7. What's going on, Mike? There's a countdown.
Yeah, man. There's people calling me. I gotta get disconnected from. There we go.
Okay, there we go. I thought we were about to take off. It sounded like a countdown.
Starship, or what did Ric Flair always say? He's like, we're on Moon Mountain.
He used to say "woo." I don't know what you're talking about.
Here, that's Meech's wrestler, Ric Flair. I'm taking
Flair?
you to Starship Mountain or some shit.
All right. Well, anyway, so I went and saw Garth Brooks at his comeback tour. It's a few years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago. And when he came back, he was doing two a days. This guy's old. He was doing 2 shows a day, like 3 hours a piece, and went to the show at Philly. And me and my buddy, we had tickets for the early show because it was a little cheaper. So it started at like 2 p.m. So we get up there at 10 a.m. to tailgate and hang out. And Mike, people were drinking like it was the end of the world. People were getting so incredibly obliterated at 10 in the morning for Garth Brooks. I had no idea. I've been to a lot of concerts in my life. I've seen Pantera. I've seen Metallica. I've seen Wu-Tang Clan. No one gets as rowdy and crazy as country music fans. It was nuts.
That, man. Motley Crue was pretty wild, man. Motley Crue was probably and I've been to Kenny Chesney out in Pittsburgh, man, and Kenny Chesney in Pittsburgh back in the late 2000s, and even I don't know what it's like anymore, but those late 2000s, man, Kenny Chesney down there, that was wild, dude. It was wild. And I went to Motley Crue out there, and yeah, at that time it was the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette Pavilion, but I forget what it's called now. Where it's just one giant like you have like seats down underneath the pavilion where everybody performs, but it's more like an outdoor thing. And then it's like just one massive hill that everybody sits on. It's all grass. And you just bring blankets and stuff and sit there. But dude, there were people passed out everywhere, man. It was wild, dude. We were drinking at like 9 o'clock in the morning for a 4 o'clock concert. It's kind of like sports, man.
Yeah. Well, we were getting ready to go into the concert. It's me and my buddy. We're hanging out, and we're in the line to walk in. So it's like 1 p.m. It's early in the day, and the girl in front. There's like a group of girls in front of me. This girl in front of me, she's right at the door. We're about to get in. She holds her hands up to her face like she's going to throw up, and she does. She throws up all in her hands and then runs out. And a bouncer comes up to me and looks at me. He said, "Hey, she can't come in here." And I said, "I don't know who she is, but I agree. I don't think she's ready for this concert. I think she pregame too hard."
I do love I do love your off the cuff comments when you've been sipping the sauce.
Yeah, when I've had a couple. Yeah, that guy was
Yeah,
just like,
when
I
you
don't
had
think
a
she can
couple,
come in here. You're right.
one I was like, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah. Oh man, good times.
But
Good times.
yeah, dude. So for the audience out there, Joe and I do plan on going to some concerts together, at least one. Nobody ever, up here, no, everybody's, it's baby making time right now. Well, post baby making time. So all my friends
When's
have
baby
kids. They're
making
all
time?
married.
I wasn't aware of that. Oh,
Yeah,
all your
they're
friends
well.
have
Everybody's
kids.
got
Gotcha.
everybody. Yeah, Kate. Yeah, yes. Baby making time. They all had babies, so everybody's got babies now. So and it's like post baby. So you know what I mean. That's
Yeah, for sure. We'll find something good to go to. You're still looking good on my end. Are you all right? Can you hear me?
we got bathroom stalls and stuff out there. What's your opinion on bathroom stalls, whether it be indoor or outdoor?
I'm not one of those guys that like will never use an public restroom. I have some friends that are like that. They're like, I'll never go to a public restroom or anything like that. But I don't have a problem with it. What I've found at outdoor concerts, outdoor festivals, is the later in the night it gets, the worse those bathrooms are going to get. So if you're
Oh,
gonna
absolutely.
yeah, during middle, beginning of the day, and this is what's weird. I mean, I guess it's not weird, but when it's hotter out and stuff, they're not as bad. But once you start hitting 5, 6 p.m., especially if it's like an all day festival or something, man, you should probably be holding it or finding some alternatives, right? Especially those porta johns, man, dude, they just get wrecked. So you
Dude,
really
man,
got to be careful.
Dude, that's why I always carry baby wipes with me, man. Dude, I don't care what anybody says, man. I always carry baby wipes with me. Well, one, because I don't trust the toilet paper there, because you could literally like see right through it. It's so cheap. That toilet paper
Right.
in those outhouses is so cheap, and I get it because it's free. But my God, I mean, like you're wiping, and it'll just it'll just go right through.
Yeah,
And
you got half
like,
apply there.
dude, and then what do you got? Like hand sanitizer? Like what the hell does that do to cleanse the fecal matter off your hands? It doesn't.
Right.
And I like to wash my hands. And baby wipes. Like I just rather have a fresh asshole when I come out, and my hands are clean. They're sanitized. Like that's why I carry baby wipes with me. And also, if I need to wipe the seat down, I'm not like if I gotta take a dookie, man.
Yeah, you can't just plop your big old rear end down on one of those bad boys. You got to make sure you're. But I will say, I mean that's another, hot tip. If you're going to a outdoor music festival or whatever, you're gonna see those hot wings there. At one of the trucks, you're gonna see the buffalo chicken pizza, and you're gonna think to yourself, "Man, I've had some booze. You know what sounds great? Some spicy nachos with jalapenos. Don't do it, because 2 hours from now, those bad boys are gonna come back up, and you're gonna have to use one of these god awful porta potties. So just don't do that. Just stick with beer. Stick with some liquid that's going to go through you. If
you would want something that will hold. So you'll want some like some red meat and some maybe some like bread, and so that's why everybody goes with like bread, and that's why everybody goes with pizza and stuff like that. But yeah, there's other stuff too.
Pretzels.
Like I mean, Joe, let me ask, what is your personal opinion on why bathroom stalls are like up off the floor where you can see everybody's feet? Is that just to identify if you're in there, if somebody's in there, or like what is that?
I would, that this was definitely an episode of Seinfeld, right? But I would assume that's the point, right? Like, so you can see someone's feet, so you're not just like walking in on someone. But at the same time, like I would say most. That's a qualifying statement, I suppose. Most you can't see unless you're like dipping your head underneath. You know what I mean? And I'm not doing that.
I mean, I mean, the doors are locked. I have another theory. I have another theory.
Okay.
My
All right, let me
theory,
know your theory.
and this is a totally logical theory, and it's probably right. I have no idea. Maybe it's a combination of everything, but I feel like it has a lot to do with the circulation of air and cleanliness for the janitor to mop. Because you know how all that shit, all that, like, it doesn't have to be like fecal matter. It could be like the shit off your
Sure.
shoes, like all, you know what I mean, like oil and dirt and grime and all that stuff. You know, all that stuff tracks into the bathroom, and then when you're mopping and stuff like that, all that goes in there. It's just like, I think it's like a hygiene type of thing. I do tell you this one time, we will have this man on. We will guarantee you we will have this man on, come hell or high water. But his name is Bell. He's an old man. He's kind of like he's kind of like an old Kramer. He's just a miserable old Kramer. But he's a great man. He's a great man. I consider him family. And we worked together. We were the three of us were in Afghanistan together, and well, we worked together when we were at duty. We were running missions, and this old man, he had I was filling up the truck, and he was like, "I got to do the bathroom. I gotta go. I'm going to the bathroom. I got to fucking shit. I'll be back." And I was like, "All right, man, just do your thing. I'll take care of it." So I got done pumping and stuff like that. I was going in there to get the receipt, and then I had to go take a piss. You know what I mean? So I come in there, and the janitor's mopping the floor. It's some I believe it was, I don't know who it was. It was an Arab. I don't want to say it, like, I'm trying to find the politically correct terminology. A Muslim.
Arab's fine.
He was Middle Eastern.
Yeah,
He was Middle Eastern. The poor guy was mopping and cleaning the bathroom there at the truck stop at the PA Turnpike. And I could tell. I know where Bell is sitting because I could see his boots under there. And he just ran the mop head right over his boots. I know, because this dude has a short temper. And he's like, "Are you fucking for real?" And the guy likes to take a shit in peace. And he has the patience. Some of this happened. I had tears coming from my eyes. And it's still funny to this day. And that's why I feel like there's that little gap underneath the stall where so the janitor has to come through a mop. And I guess, yeah, no shit's given. He was like, "Fuck him, man. Just run that mop head right over there." It was one of the funnier times. But yeah, one of the other go ahead.
That brings it back to what I was saying. You can't see the shoes under there because the seats are back so far that, like, you know, unless you're like dipping down, like taking a knee to look under, you can't see whose boots are under there.
He was on the first stall.
Though. Oh, so
you can see his boots right next to the urinal. Yeah,
I'm vibing with your theory. I think that's right. I also think, like, it's for the janitors on the bottom and then the top, because if you didn't have that, you'd have to have a like separate fart fan in every single stall. You know what I mean?
Oh my god! Speaking of like farts, dude,
big commercial.
Dude, speaking of
farts,
dude, that is like one of the funniest sounds. It's like, especially with that guy, like being with Bell. This guy, Bell. I promise you, you guys will all hear from this man as a special guest, and in the future, probably here maybe next week. I mean, he is planning on coming here for WrestleMania, so maybe I'll do like something. I don't know. We'll find out. But I remember him and I coming in there. We would go take we had to take a piss. We're both there taking a piss in the urinal. These other truck drivers are in the shitters, and it's just like that toilet bowl fart, like, and it's just like an echo when you fart in that bowl, and it's like an echo,
right? It echoes
and
out.
I look over and see his face, and he gives me these wide eyes, like, like. Oh,
well, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, if you're having some issues, you gotta run to the toilet. Maybe that's the only toilet that this poor young lad had. You know, he needed.
Hey, man, I don't care, man. If I'm on the can, I'm doing my business. Hey, man, yeah. It is what it is.
Just let her rip.
It's just that it's so funny because it always comes back to his facial expressions.
Yeah.
It's just so funny. I can't wait to the audience. I cannot wait till you as an audience get to meet this man. Very fine man, very funny. I can't wait. It's we're gonna try and do a build up for him. And he is camera shy, so we do have to mind that. But let's get a little bit offhand here, Joe. We're getting a little bit too here, but I had some other things. So speaking of the turnpike, man, I was just out on the turnpike coming to and from Pittsburgh, and you know one thing that I noticed, and drivers, the bad drivers that are out on the road, and I do have to say, like, what is the number one thing that annoys you most on the road period?
The biggest thing that annoys me is really the car horn. People honking at you for no reason. Because when someone honks at you, what they're saying is, I want you to be doing something different. Whatever you're doing, you should be doing something different, right? But many times, if you're the person honking the horn, you don't have all of the information that the driver in front of you or beside you or whoever has. So just last week, and this isn't on the turnpike or anything, heading down the road, and there's a giant truck not stopped in the middle of the road, but he was off to the side as much as he could be. And this gentleman is, unloading, whatever it is he's got to unload. So he stopped, he's covering up about half of my lane. And on the other side, there's a bunch of cars coming and they're not stopping. They're not pulling down. So I need to stop, let these cars come, to the left of me. And then once they go, I'll go around it. So I come to a stop behind this guy to let these other cars go. And a guy behind me is just blaring on his horn, telling me, to go. He's in clearly a rush for some reason. I don't know, but just blaring on his horn. I'm going, what do you want me to do, dude? You want me to just barrel into oncoming traffic? You don't know what I see. You have no clue. You're a whole car behind me. Maybe he can see the truck, but he can't see all of the cars barreling towards me. That's my thing.
Totally,
If you're a car horn honker, just knock it off. Just chill. Just wait. Or like when the light changes, a light will go green. You give them 1 to 2 seconds. Don't wait 3 milliseconds and then start blaring on your horn. Just leave your house a little earlier. You know what I mean? That's the issue. Leave your house a little earlier.
I totally feel the same thing. I don't drive in the city like as much as you do. So, I mean, I know it's really hustle and bustle down there. And, I have used very frequently, but I have used the horn, and it's when they pass that 2-second threshold. And I'm like, the light's not going to get any fucking greener. Let's go. Like, come on. Yeah, it's usually when somebody's not paying attention. And it's always when somebody's on their phone or something like that,
or checking Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're not paying attention. Like, and that irks me too, because you're not supposed to be. I don't use my phone. I absolutely hate when people ask me, like, why can't you text me? Well, because I'm driving. And I was like, I was just calling you up. Like, why can't we call people? I don't understand, like, why. I understand people's lives are busy and stuff like that. I totally get it. It's totally understandable. But it's just like the whole texting thing is just getting out of hand. Like, I miss like calling people up. Hey, how you doing, man? And just checking in and seeing how people are doing, and like just catching up and stuff like that. But texting is actually, I'm not anti-text. I love texting, but don't tell me to text while I'm driving, because I refuse to do it. But
that's a good
I'll tell you one thing. Being a longtime truck driver, the one thing that I absolutely hate without a shadow of a doubt is people who, if you are one of them, you need to get a license evaluation. People who sit in the left lane doing the same speed as the people in the right lane. Just get over. The left lane is not a travel lane. Okay, so like the middle lane is a travel lane. and your left lane, if it's down to 2 lanes in that direction, you pass and get over. And I understand, like, when you start getting into, like, congested areas and stuff like that, I absolutely hate being in a left lane. I just want to I want to get in a left lane and pass whoever I'm passing and get back over in the right lane, and that's it. That's it. Like, I love staying in the right lane. Go ahead. You're in more of a hurry. Go right ahead, man. And if I'm coming up on you and you're hanging in the left lane, you're going way too slow. You're going way too slow. You need to get over. Boot it. And dude,
the left lane is for breaking the law. That's the point of the left lane. Right? Yes. Like, if you're doing 5 to 10 above the speed limit, you should be in the middle. You should not be
and I think it comes I think it comes back to, like, paying attention too, because like paying attention to what you're doing. Like, I feel like not all people, but some people just don't understand the liability behind operating a moving vehicle. They just don't understand it because they're just local drivers, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, like, there's dangers to doing that, like not paying attention. Like, if you're not paying attention to the light, if you're not paying attention to who's behind you, like, I'm always checking my mirrors and stuff and seeing who's behind me, making sure, you know what I mean? Like, I'm aware of my surroundings, and I feel like I'm like that, as a person too. Like, I like to be mindful of my surroundings, know who's around me, know what's going on. I just be aware. Like, and that's what you have to be to be to be a driver. Like, and that plus, I have, like, a lot of experience behind the wheel. So, I mean, but it's just basic common sense, I think, and courtesy. I think there's a lot of a lack of common courtesy in today's society. I feel like nobody cares about anybody else. Like, it's just all about them. And I feel like that's very wrong, but who the hell am I? And that's why I say that I'm like, I just don't care. Like, I'm belligerent. Like, I will, like, if you're if you're coming over into my space or in anything, like, I'm going to be belligerently, because I've had it. I'm just going to give you my honest truth. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. But
you know what? I got a question for you, Mike. So, Mike, we're talking about driving and being drivers and all that nonsense. I saw a question here online. The question is, would you want to drive a Tesla Cybertruck? Is that something you would want to do, Mike? Have you seen these trucks?
Just a standard truck, or is it a commercial vehicle, like a tractor trailer or a straight body?
Let me show it to you. Can you see it?
No, not yet. Oh, there we go.
So this is the Tesla Cybertruck. What do you think of this bad boy?
No.
You would not drive one of those?
No. It serves its purpose. I'm not putting anything in the back of that. That's like very that's very too sci-fi for me. And
it is incredibly
it's also and I feel that it's incredibly expensive, which means that I'm not going to be putting anything in the back of that besides pillows.
They're pretty expensive for sure. I personally think they're, like, incredibly hideous. It looks like a PlayStation 1 video game version of a truck. You know what I mean?
Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Total Recall is a great flick. I love Total Recall.
That is a great as far as I've been in a Tesla, and I'm telling you, it was pretty crazy. I was shocked. I'm like, but I just don't trust technology at the moment. I mean, when we start putting flying vehicles in the air while we're having, like, self-motorized vehicles, then I'll start trusting it. It's just new technology. I just want to, they're still trying to figure out, like, Firestone's still trying to figure out their stuff. We're still getting recalls on vehicles today, between tires, Firestone. you know, Firestone has come back from their tires, but still, like, that's still out there. You know, the vehicles in general, they're still getting recalls and stuff, and that's just standard motorized vehicles. And I feel like it just let technology and everything work itself out. I think it's pretty cool that they have self-driving vehicles, but at the same time, I'm not trying to get killed in one.
Right.
I'm not going to fall asleep behind the wheel like some. I'm not going to say some people, but I do know people who own Teslas, and they do, when they're on long drives down the highway, they do fucking nod off, and I'm like, you are absolutely nuts.
Yeah, that's how you
But
get
hey,
killed.
man, that's
100%.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like the Tesla is not going to figure out. It's not going to factor in like live animals like deer and horses and anything else. Like, dude, they're cattle. There's cows. You know, when you're driving through the country on like on the turnpike or any major highway going through, you know, farmland, you know, there's cattle that get loose and go onto the highway, and tractor trailers hit them, and it takes the entire front end off. You know, you're going to die in that if you're going 70 miles an hour down the highway and that thing doesn't detect it until it's too late. Yeah, so that's why I like to maintain control of my vehicle, because it's just kind of like, you know, I just don't want to put my hands into technology just yet. But
well, no, I think that's a safe.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I think that's a safe bet, right? Don't let your vehicle drive you right now in 2024. Wait a little bit before you get on that. But what were we going to say, Mike?
Speaking of stuff that you don't want, we're gonna switch up the gears, Joe. What personality out there? What personality out there from another person would throw a red flag into somebody that you just do not want to drink with, party with, go out to a bar
somebody
with?
I don't want to.
Yeah, what are some red flags that? Yeah,
the biggest red flag for me, the people I don't want to party with, are the people that get angry when they drink. You know what I mean? I feel like me and you, we're both pretty happy drinkers, you know, and we like to go out and have a good time. But some people, man, they seem like nice and fun, and then they get a couple whiskeys in them, and they're just mean. They're angry people. The other type of person are those that don't have any money. The people that are just broke, and then they want to drink with you, and they just want you to buy them drinks all night long. I'm like, I'm not doing that, bro. Mooches. Yep. What about you, Mike? What's your drinking buddy red flag?
Somebody content and just relaxing and having a good time. Somebody who just wants to it's all about them, and we should go there, and we should go here, and we should go there. I'm like, dude, you're not the only person in this group. Like, why can't you just like hang out and just chill and just, you know, who cares? Maybe I don't know. Maybe I have definitely violated that in the past. So I guess it's kind of like a maturity thing.
Maybe.
I don't know.
What I think is I like going out and bar hopping, but if I'm going out bar hopping, it needs to be like planned. You need to say like, hey, we're going to spend an hour at this bar and then jump here. But when you go out and you're like, oh, and there's someone that's like, oh, I just want to bar hop, but you're already out and you're at a bar that's already good times and good vibes.
Yeah, like you and I went out, and I was like, it's like, I'm not going to be like, hey, come on, we're leaving. Like, I was looking down at my watch. If I didn't look at my watch, I was ready to leave that bar, and I was like, hey, I think it's time to leave this bar. It's packed, and I can't take all this. But let's change the scenery. I think would be cool. But then I looked down at my watch, and I was like, oh shit, it's time to go. It's actually past time to go. So it was probably a good thing that happened. But yeah, somebody who's overly aggressive, like you said, somebody who is angry drunk, like somebody who wants to cause drama, and I'm like, dude, I can't take it. Oh, also somebody who's destructive of property, Like if somebody came in here and just had no regard, I had a dude come in here and like he smokes, and there's rules. Like if you smoke, you in the summertime you could smoke out here in the bar because all the windows are open. I don't care. I mean it's ventilated. I don't give a shit. But in the wintertime, when like it's heated in here, the windows are closed. You're not going to smoke out here because you're hotboxing it and it's going to float inside my house. Like, I don't want that. So you got to smoke outside. And so it was during, I believe it was during the winter. I'm not sure what it was, but he did come inside. I was up there doing, I just made, there was like just like 2 or 3 people who came over. So I just did like a little bit of a food spread. Not even a spread. It was just like I made some food and I made some, you know what I mean? Like they could use my dishes, my plates and stuff. And yeah, I was up there just doing the dishes real quick just to get them done and over with. And he came upstairs to check on me. He had a lit cigarette in his mouth. And I ripped it out of his mouth and immediately put it underneath the sink. And he just looked at me like I was like, "Ooh, what are you doing?" And I'm just like, dude, it was infuriating. But he was drunk and everything. I knew if I would have just, if I would have just went off, I just didn't want to get into it. And that, well, let's put it this way: this person is though like it takes a lot for me to ban you from this place, and he's the only one who's been banned. He's actually been banned. I kicked him out of my friendship circle. Like I just don't want nothing to do with him. So there's a lot more than just that, but it was just the overall disrespect to somebody's house. Like if you're coming over to somebody's house, like you respect their wishes. You know what I mean? Like I absolutely hate when people don't kick their shoes off and walk across my carpet. Like, dude, you know how much carpet costs? Like you're tracking all that shit. You're like, you're stepping in oil and like oil res from the macadam and fuel and dirt and grime and all that shit. And you're carrying it into my house. Like, I don't want to be a neat freak, but come on, man. I'd like to walk around barefoot in here, man. I don't want to live in a pigsty. So those are mine. Those are my party things, but how much time do we have left, Joe?
I could. We're about done. We're at like 45 minutes right now.
We'll finish it off here with a little bit of golf. Have you been doing any golf here, man? The golf season's starting up.
You know, I'm not a golfer, Mike. I love the sport of golf. I worked at a golf course for 4 years in my youth. I loved it being outside. There was nothing better than in the morning, Friday, Saturday morning, I'd smoke a big old cigar and just mow the greens. Listen to music or a podcast or whatever. But anymore, I'm not a huge golfer. I like to play Tiger Woods on the Xbox, and that's about it. I'll watch the Masters when they come around. But what about
like
you,
to golf
Mike?
for fun, right?
I don't go out to...
Let me tell you something. I can play, but just because I can play doesn't make me a good golfer. I'm a terrible golfer. My game is never on, and I'm either good at driving and I suck at the other 2 facets of chipping and putting, or it's like a combination of all 3. Like I suck at driving and I'm good at chipping, and I'm just never on. And even if I ever was on, I'm still not as good as my other buddies who've been golfing and who've gotten professional. But, it's just about going out there and just getting that, fresh air and just relaxing and spending time with your buddies or your or taking a girl out on a date. Like, I don't know, there's, there's girls out there that love to golf. And I think that's awesome.
Sure.
And, I think that's a great date activity. If a girl wants to go golfing and stuff, I would absolutely, let's go. Because at the end of the day, we're all friends, man. We're all out just relaxing, enjoying fresh air. Like, I love it. I feel like there was that was a Seinfeld right there where it's just like, I understand why people like going to funerals because everything's all nice and, that's what Jerry said. He's like, I understand now why people like going golfing because it's like the same as going to a funeral because the landscape is so natural and nice and neat. Like, what? But we will, you and I will be going golf. We will do a few Instagram and TikTok videos from going golfing together and stuff. And that's the whole thing, is just to reach out there to veterans and men and women who've served their country and have been dealing with things, and just to get more activities out there, and to reach out there. And we're all in the same boat. We're all just trying to get through things, and just enjoy our life and enjoy this country that we so richly deserve, and that we so dedicated our lives to. So, but
yeah, for sure.
I know we haven't reached out that much to veterans, and we plan on doing that a lot in the coming future. So, but also, if you are a man or a woman going through a difficult time, please use us as a reach out. We're always here. Both Joe and I are always here. It doesn't matter who you are. We will always listen to you. And I'm very well versed. I've had my demons. I'm sure Joe has, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just reaching out to each other. We're all one family. So, but do you have anything else to finish off here, Joe?
No, I think that covered it. Hey, and like Mike said, anyone, we're always here. Leave us a comment. You can send us an email. We got our Facebook page. You can find us pretty much anywhere at Home Bar Happy Hour. If you have any questions, or want to just chat, say hi, homebarhappyhour@gmail.com. And, probably be in a future episode. But yeah, that's it from me.
And die hard, man.
Yes, sir. See you guys.